Alright. So this is a new idea brought to you by Ryan Dome. He's commented a few times on my videos and I've been in like a couple live streams. So he's actually a close friend of mine. I am going to do some short videos, like vlog style, on my way back from delivering pizzas. Okay? So I actually only have about like maybe 1.5 weeks left of this job, but I might as well make it fun. So the idea is basically because I need my maps on my way to the places. On the way back, I guess this guy got a red light. On the way back, I do some vlogs. I just do like random conversations and whatnot. And so I think it was going to be a pretty good idea. So I'm trying it out. So currently I'm coming back from my first order tonight, my first delivery. I only got like 2 hours. There's not going to be a whole lot to see, so I'm filming in 1080p, but maybe I'll talk about the traffic sometimes. You know, maybe someone pissed me off. Give you guys a good reaction or something, I don't know. Speaking of other drivers, tonight, last night was the first time it snowed here this year. Or, well, it snowed back in October, but rather, this is the first time it's staying on the ground. The first time was a weak shit. So, some guy running across the street. Saw him in my peripherals running at me. Anyways, so now I'm just heading back to Papa John's, and we'll talk about the fact that people drive way too slow when it first snows. So at least right now, the roads are cleared. It hasn't been snowing for at least a few hours, and so the roads are actually, I mean, they're slightly damp, you know, but like people almost assume that the roads are icy just because there's a little bit of snow on the ground. It's not quite that cold yet, I don't think. And so we're just going to be, I mean, at least for me, it's almost like driving in rain. It's almost no big deal. So I'm just going to do some vlog styles like this, I guess, and see how it goes, see if you guys like it. Of course, I'm going to have to edit these videos together because otherwise I'll be sucking up all my data if I live stream this. And plus, whenever I get back to the store, I cut it off because I can't be vlogging in the store. That'd be kind of weird. So yeah, so last night was the first time it snowed, and it's not like cold enough for enough snow to make it like undrivable or anything. So what the heck? What company is that? I don't know if you guys saw that. You can rewind on the video just real quick. Some guy passed in front of me has a car topper that said like the pizza guy. I don't know where the hell that is or what company that is. I know there's Domino's and Pizza Hut as well. I work for Papa John's. Don't buy their pizza. At least not from my store. It's not very great pizza. I'd rather go with Domino's if I were to order pizza, but I almost never do anyway, so no conflict there. So got my heat going. So yeah, what I was saying is people assume that like when there's wet roads or something, like when it rains or whatever, they assume that the grip on the roads goes way down. which it goes down somewhat, but not that much. Like, you'd be surprised that just a wet road is not, like, I can still get quite a bit of traction. And of course, if you hydroplane, that's a different story. So you gotta watch out for puddles, and like if it's really coming down hard, like it's just almost flooding everything. So that's a different story, hydroplaning. But people assume that it's just like half the traction or something, so they drive half as fast. But then people underestimate how much more slippery ice is, and that's where a lot of the crashes happen. Is because like ice is like very, very slick, and people assume that it's only a little bit less traction than, say, when it's wet roads and rain. At least that's my general consensus. Sorry if you're looking at dirt, but there's not much to see on my side either. It's dark. So yeah, so people, I always assume, they think that rain, there's wet roads, is way more slippery than it is, but then they don't think ice is as slippery as it actually is. Like, if I were to guess, rain might, say, give you 90 to 95% of your dry condition traction. But then ice, on the other hand, can give you as low as like 30%, 20%. And people think of it like almost kind of the other way. Not the other way as in switch numbers, but like people think that a wet road will give you 50% traction, and then ice will give you maybe 40% traction. When in reality, ice is way, way more slippery than a wet road. And so that's when a lot of crashes happen. And yeah, thankfully now there's no ice on the roads. It's not cold enough. And so yeah, I don't even think they salted the roads yet. I've just plowed it, and then yeah, it didn't snow a whole lot, maybe like a couple inches, which is like nothing. And so yeah, so I'm driving around. If you're from the area, it looks like more people are crossing. If you're from the area and you know where I am and all that, whatever, I guess you get to see where I'm driving from, because I'm gonna have to use my phone for maps on the way there, because most of the time I don't know where the addresses are. Sometimes I do, like campus, on campus, a lot of dorms I know where they are, and some of the popular apartment complexes, like 555 Forest Meadows. I also will, I guess, occasionally probably comment on other drivers, like I mentioned, and so far so good. Usually drivers around here are pretty good. They seem, since I grew up in California, I don't want to say I'm an aggressive driver, but like I can be an aggressive driver. Like I know how to drive and handle my car, and if I really wanted to, I could weave through traffic, but most of the time I don't do that. But then that, because I have that knowledge, per se, I can see how stupid other people really are sometimes, and it just kind of amazes me sometimes. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, alright, pulling back up to Papa John's here. Our sign is very, very dimly lit. And we have roof leaks and leaky faucets and all this crap. that needs to be fixed. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad I put in my 2 weeks. Oh, I could have gone there. Oh well, I was getting distracted driving. Or talking, rather. But anyways, pulling in here, and I pull into my favorite spot. It's the first one on the left. And I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alright, so this is pretty cool. I remember that my maps can be minimized to like the bottom right corner of my screen on other apps. So I'm currently going to a destination. This is going to be a lot more content, I guess. But that also means I need to think of more things to talk about. Something I noticed actually just before I started recording, there was this truck that I was behind. It was like one of those big lifted trucks, you know, you normally see around America. And sorry if my screen's a little sideways. I had an angle towards me for directions. But anyways, it was already a really tall truck. Then on top of it, there was like good 6 inches of snow or something. This just made it look really stupid. I don't know why. So I'm gonna go left up here. A lot of people go left here, apparently. So, and I do believe it's technically illegal or something like that to drive with snow on your car, but it's just like one of those laws that nobody actually cares about. It's like a cop's not gonna pull you over for not using a blinker to switch lanes. They're not gonna pull you over for having some snow on your car. But I don't know why it's illegal, but technically it is. Thankfully I keep my truck in the garage, so it's no problem for me, but yeah. It was just kind of funny to see this big tall truck with an extra 6 inches that looked kind of like a weird hat on top of the truck. So yeah, I need something to talk about. Whoa, this guy's going way slow. See, like that. People go way too slow when it's like trying to take a corner. It's like, come on guys, the road's only wet, it's not icy. So, now what do I talk about? Probably have to do a little bit of editing and cut some of this out. The only thing is with my maps, in the corner like this, it doesn't revert to being sideways. So since my phone is in landscape mode on my suction cup mount, the directions is sitting landscape or portrait mode or whatever you want to call it. And so I kind of have to turn my head sideways. Of course, I really only have to see where those blue lines go. I'm about to get to my next destination, so maybe I'll have to think of something while I'm out giving the pizza out. I'm actually taking, as I call it, a double D, a double delivery. So I'm going to another house after this. So if you ever thought that every order you get from pizza is like them taking it directly to you, it could be that they're actually taking it to somewhere else first. So yeah, stop the video here and we'll be right back. Okay, what is going on with this tow guy? It's going real slow. He was stopping on the side of the road for some reason. I guess that's something to talk about. Flagstaff has terrible parking situation. I've noticed. And I blame it on NAU campus. So, is where I first realized it was at my condos. They tow you in my condo area. Everyone has like the really short driveways, and so like you can just barely parallel park in your driveway. I probably couldn't because I have a long truck, but a lot of people do, or at least try to. And so basically the front of the condo is right up against the street, so there's no front yard, there's nothing. And so most people who get these condos, at least they keep building more of them in my area. And so like people who keep getting these condos are like college students. Somehow they can afford to buy them and then rent them out to roommates and whatever not, and then I guess they'll sell them later. But anyways, so almost everyone in the new condo area is like college students, and so that means there's going to be a car for every room in the condo. Yet they only build the garage to have 2 cars. It's a 2-car garage, and it's a tight garage too. You guys saw it earlier if you watched my live streams. And so there's almost always an extra car or 2. I think that depending on there's different models of the condos. Some of them have 3 rooms, some of them have 4, and so on. I'm actually getting hot in here. So there's always extra cars, and they don't build enough parking outside of the garages. There's like some parking spots here and there, but not enough to support how many cars there are outside of garages. And so, let's see, where am I going on the street? And so there's always an overflow of cars. It's always like pretty tight, or almost competitive for to get spots, because the HOA, the Homeowners Association, which you pay a fee for every 3 months or something, and they literally do nothing else except hire people to plow your streets when it snows, and hire people to tow you out of your driveway or out of anywhere else that you're parked that isn't a parking spot or in your garage. You literally have to be in your garage so that they don't tow you. They can literally tow you if you parallel park in your driveway. And I've had this happen to me once. I wasn't parallel parked in my driveway, but it was like the very first week that I was living in these condos. There was nowhere to park, and so I was just like, yeah, why don't I just park on the side of the street where there's no houses or no condos? We're getting to another place, and so I got towed. And that sucked. That was like 230 something or other dollars to get it out of the lot. I'm gonna have to stop this video momentarily so I can find this address and hope that I don't get stuck on this partially plowed road. Be right and back. Alright, so back where I was talking. I think I was talking about towing, right? And so I gotta keep my defroster on. Fogs up a little bit. I was actually sliding just a little bit on this road coming up. So this is a road that's unplowed, or not properly plowed. And so literally it's just the cars compacting the snow, which then turns into ice. So yeah, that noise there, that was me putting on my brakes, and that was my ABS kicking in. So that's as hard as I could have braked there. And that it was slightly downhill. So I was talking about the towing situation in Flagstaff in general. So that's when I first noticed it, was when I was towed and I had to pay something like $200-something to get it out, which was ridiculous because I needed my car the next day. Thankfully I didn't get too inconvenienced. I had a friend that could drive me there to the tow yard. And of course, I've noticed this tow company, the same tow company is all over town. Like if you see any signs that say they can tow you, they say the contact information of the same company. It's called JAR Towing, JARR. And anyways, they charge you 200 whatever bucks. But then when you're trying to get your car, you call them up, right? You call up the number that's on the sign, and they say, "Oh yeah, this is our address. We'll be there around this time." And their hours are, the hours that you can pick it up are pretty, like, I don't know, they're not very many hours. Like they're random hours from like 1 to 3 or whatever. And so you're like, okay, it's a good thing I didn't have anything at say 2 o'clock or something, or anything before that for that matter. So then when you finally get to this place, the address they give you, it's their main office. You're there on time. Of course they're not. They're like 10 minutes late. And there's a couple other people there with you because they tow multiple people all the time. And so you're there just kind of talking about whatever, a stupid towing situation with these other people. And the fact that they're late and it's all screwy. And then they finally show up. And you can see they have a very small yard. And you're like, for a company that you see like all over town, this doesn't look like that big of a yard. Pretty small, like gated off area. And so then they opened the gate and I went in there to look for my car. And of course, my car's not there. So I'm like, yay, where's my car? And they're like, you didn't have the white pickup? And I'm like, no, I got a gray Tundra, the gray Toyota truck. And they're like, oh, that's at our other yard. I'm just like, well, what the fuck? Why'd you give me this address then? And so there's a couple other people there that their cars are there. It's fine, they drive off, whatever, after paying the fee. And so then they're like, you have to wait for these other people to leave because they got to get their cars out. And they're on those little mobile card readers, like the things you can carry around and then insert a card to whatever, take people's money. And so that thing's real slow, not stopping for that light. And so I have to wait for a few other people to get their cars, whatever. Then they're like, okay, follow us, we're going to this address, this is our other yard. And it's basically back the other direction I came from. So I had to have someone take me to this, whatever, the first address they gave me, which was way on the east side of Flagstaff, pretty far out there. And then they tell me, oh, it's back exactly where you came from. It's like in the middle of town. And so it's kind of just bullshit from this point. So I get over there and my truck's there. And I take forever to read my card and give them 200 something bucks. And then they let me just drive out of there. And so that was a real frustrating story. But then I've noticed it's kind of like, you see these signs all over Flagstaff. They're like, I don't know, maybe this towing company just goes out of their way trying to make business with people and then pissing everyone off that they tow, which I would completely hate to work for a company like that. Like, you just have to deal with like pissed off people all the time. You're basically stealing their car and then charging the money, basically like ransom, to get it back. And so, I don't know, I just don't agree with the whole system. But they're all over town, and even in downtown, the main area, where it's usually pretty busy, and it's already hard to find parking. But then when you do park, it's like, this is a recent thing. This is like the last couple of years they put this in. Everywhere in downtown you park, you have to pay something like $1 an hour. It's not a whole lot, but it's just like, it's just kind of irritating, you know. And then it's just because I think part of it is the town is not very well designed to have this many people in it. So traffic flow sucks, parking situations suck, and so people think that they're going to fix the parking situation by charging you money for it. By like maybe scaring away more people, like not to park there. Except it doesn't work because we still have to park there. Sometimes you can find it. Oh, another thing I was thinking, this is also part of what I think is NAU's fault. The school that I go to, the college in town, is a Northern Arizona University, and so they charge like a hell of a lot of money to have a parking pass so you can park on campus. It's something like $300 for a semester, and then if you want to park in a parking garage so that your car is not outside in like the second semester, you get a lot more snow and wind and crap weather, and so it's nice to have your car indoors. But if you want to park in a parking garage covered, it's like 500 something bucks, and so it's just kind of insane. And so I think it's just kind of like that mentality that the city and all these all these businesses are feeling like, oh, NAU charges for parking, like we're gonna charge for parking. I don't know. So it's just kind of like all over town, and that I don't know why or how this got voted in, but it was actually on the ballot a couple years ago, that the ones in town we had to pay $1 an hour or whatever that are in downtown. But apparently that money does go to support the businesses there. But I don't know. If you ask me, it's just kind of stupid. Like, why wouldn't the city just lower their rent if they wanted to give them more money? Or why wouldn't... If the business can't support itself, then it shouldn't be in business. That's kind of my outlook on that. So, there was a random rant there. We'll have to talk about something better next round. It's already almost 7:30. Let's see, I get off at 8:30. Started at 6, so I'm already halfway done. That's good. Just about halfway, so... I really didn't want to work today, but... yeah, who cares? Just gonna press these people real quick. And we're back at Papa John's. Alright, see you guys in a moment. Alright, so that was pretty quick actually. I was in and out of there pretty quick as soon as I went in. There's something vibrating in the back. What the hell is it? I don't know. It's getting rather annoying. Oh, sorry, that's angled again. I gotta get used to putting that back. So, another thing I wanted to talk about was, I guess, a good reason for why I'm quitting. So, I'm quitting, let's see, today is Friday, quitting Saturday of next week. That will be my last day. And so, it means I got 3-4 more days after this one. And so the reason I'm quitting for one, it started off with one of the managers there. I get the feeling he doesn't like me, or rather, he's just not friendly, I guess. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but it's just like, to me, he doesn't seem that friendly. So basically, he kept wanting me to learn like how to take phone orders and how to do make line, which I was alright with. I suck at the taking order stuff. Like, the few times that I've done it, I've either messed up the order or somehow got them to not actually want pizza anymore. I don't know how that happens. I must just suck at taking orders, on the phone, that is. And so, I don't know how this happened, but, like, first time I was taking someone's order, and I said, yeah, I'm kind of new to this, so I have to be a little patient. And so they're like, okay. And this was Halloween, and they wanted something called the what was it called? We had a special going on for Halloween where we had pizzas shaped like pumpkins. She wanted that, and for the life of me, I could not find this stupid pumpkin pizza. And so then I asked someone, like, hey, where's this pumpkin pizza? And they show me, and it's like hidden under. Ah! Alright. I don't know where I left off. So, it turns out someone called me in the middle of driving. It was actually the store calling me because I was taking a specific order. It was someone somehow got a free order. I don't know. Is this UPS out here delivering? Damn. Anyways, so someone got a free order, and then they called me while I was driving to make sure that I got the right order and that it was all under control. So apparently, maybe someone fucked up, and then they got themselves a free order. So they wanted to make sure that it was done right this time, I guess. And so they told me to remind them when I get back that they need to void the order, because otherwise they'll think that I was paid in cash. Like, the system will keep track of how much cash I should have and everything like that. And so then at the end of the day, they know how much to pay me for gas or if I owe them or whatever. So anyways, I need to avoid that order so that the system doesn't think that I got cash that I didn't. Let's go. So, I have no idea where I left off. I'm trying to think. Be a pretty short conversation, I guess, so I can't remember right now. Oh, what the hell's that guy doing? Okay, this guy in front of me nearly made a left, and then halfway through turning decided not to, and so turned back. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but yeah, it's just another one of those stupid Arizona driver things. They seem to not be able to make up their mind sometimes. I cannot, for the life of me, remember what I was talking about. See, there he goes. Just the last moment of deciding to turn right. What is wrong with that guy? Man. Alright, well. I can't remember what I was talking about. I guess I'll have to talk about something else for like the very short time that I'll be driving back, or as long as I'm stuck at this light. So tires, eh? See, if I can accelerate that hard and not spin my tires, I think I'll be alright braking or turning just normally. This thing does have some kick to it, so for being 2004 truck. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I've gotten used to it, but there's a little tiny whistling noise. Might sound like it's from above you. That's because my light bar makes a little bit of a whistling noise. I've kind of learned to ignore it completely. Usually I have music playing, but can't obviously play music in my YouTube videos because I don't know which ones will be copyrighted. Oh, yellow light, dang it. So yeah, I can't play music. Maybe I'll have to find a playlist of like no copyright music just to play in my car while delivery driving. Oh yeah, I was talking about why I was quitting. Okay, I remembered out of nowhere. So apparently I suck at taking orders, yet this stupid manager, like, this one manager keeps, like, if he knows I'm in store, like I'm not out taking delivery, he'll, like, if a phone rings, he'll go like, Jacob, grab the phone, even though there's, like, quite a few other people that can grab the phone just fine. I mean, I understand he wants me to learn it, but if there's something I just suck at, I just think it's better to not learn and let someone else do it who's better at it. I'm great at doing, like, almost anything else. I'll do dishes, I'll do sweeping, mopping, I'll do take out the trash, I'll do make pizza boxes all day long. I'll do cut table, I'll cut up the pizzas, put them in the box, make sure that I got all the right sides. Stuff like that. I'll do that all day long, but I will not take orders. And I also kind of suck at making pizzas. So the thing, I mean, I would be good at it if they didn't abbreviate everything, because I always forget. I suck at memorizing things like that. Like, it's basically like trying to memorize the periodic table from all its abbreviations. It's like there's so many abbreviations in this. They got these little monitors up at the make line, as they call it. And so when you're making the pizza, there's just like this size pizza, or like 14-inch plus JL plus PN plus XC plus whatever. There are all these abbreviations, and I have no idea what they are almost all the time. So I always have to ask. Of course, once I know what it is, there is also certain orders of putting toppings on. Like if it's something like with one topping, you put the topping first. If it's a meat, then the cheese. If it's not a meat, then you put the cheese, then the veggie or whatever it is. If it's more than one topping, then you always put the toppings on top. And then if it's like extra cheese, then you put the extra cheese on top of the toppings. And it's just all these stupid rules. Man, that guy was tailgating me pretty hard there. So I'm not gonna probably do that. Another reason, I got the finals coming up. I'm not gonna work. Well, I'm just gonna sit here for just a moment because I don't want to go back in. Turn on my lights. Honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of working at this place. It's not a bad job. It's just, I don't know. It's a minimum wage job, so yeah, I'm getting sick of it. And another reason, so finals are starting up just after I'm quitting, and I don't want to be staying up till 2 a.m. the night before a final or something like that, delivering pizza. So quitting before that. But then also, my dad lives overseas. He's actually in Indonesia. I'm working for Halliburton, and so he booked me a flight quite a long time ago, like a month ago. He booked me a flight from like the beginning of my winter break till like January 7th or something like that. And so I know I won't be there. I won't be here for New Year's. And so I told the nice manager, the guy I like, I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to be here for like a month almost. Because even like when I get back, because I go with my dad for part of my winter break, then go back to see my mom in California for part of my winter break. And so like I don't want to come back from Indonesia, then come back here just to go to work. Like, so I said, yeah, can I get like a whole month off? And he's like, no. You got to be here for New Year's. And then and I'm just like, yeah, New Year's is our busiest day of the year. You can't miss that. And so I'm like, well, I can't, because I've literally got, my dad booked a flight for me. There's like $1,000 tickets. You can't back out of this. Unless you're going to pay me $2,000 plus like a couple of weeks of memories with my dad, which I don't see very often. I'm going to have to quit, I guess. And I said I'm going to temporarily quit. When in reality, I'm just not going to go back. So basically, I think he has the notion that I'll quit and then apply again when I get back. Which, I mean, I don't know. He may or may not think that. I'm not really sure, but I'm not coming back. I need to find a different job. So that's the reason I quit, and that's also the reason I'm still sitting here, because I don't want to go back in. I'm getting sick of this job, but I have to, so I'll go back in. So see you guys later. Or just in a moment for you, I guess. Alright, I'm back. This one's going to be real short. You can even see the place I'm going to right now. I'm actually taking 2 orders, but they're both pretty close. This first order is going to the Drury. There's that hotel. You can see it right over there, the red sign's up there. I'm going to take my time. Let's see. Oh, there you go. I don't know what that guy's doing. Heck. Okay, so I guess here's a quick topic. In the store, we have this list. This list ranks the drivers. Come on, guy. We got a green arrow. It ranks the drivers based on how quickly you take the order compared to what Google thinks you should take. So Google is like the map service that routes. Oh god, why are there guns here? That routes all the drivers, or like in the store, so that it can get an estimate of how long. Oh, that's a curb. How long you can take, and then it can average. It can see who's driving faster and slower. Be right back. All right. So that was quick. Next stop is pretty close to you. So I was saying, there's this list that ranks all the drivers. There's this one guy that's been at the top of the list, like pretty much the entire time I've been here. Oh dang it! I can only turn right here. Great. Guess I'll just have to take longer. So, so this guy has been at the top of the list. He's been there. He's only been not the top of the list. I think only twice since I've been here. And the rest of the time he's been top of the list. He's like the fastest driver. And no left turn. Dang it. They didn't say no U-turn. But anyways, so he's been on top of the list. I need to turn around here. Come on. Great. Up there. Oh. Looks like there's a guy coming. I'm gonna see if I can turn this around here somehow. Let's just take this. Right. So this guy's been at the top of the list, and I've always been in the top 5, and there's like 20 or so drivers or whatever within the top 5, usually second or first or third. And so I am pretty fast driver, but this guy, he's been working here he's working pizza, I should say, for like 5 years, which is crazy if you ask me. Like I could not work at a minimum wage job for 5 years. Going through that, like, that's just, I don't know. And so I've been trying to beat him just once, just so that I can, I don't know, just beat him once. I'm a pretty quick driver when I want to be, and I can usually troubleshoot finding addresses. You'd be surprised how sometimes just Google Maps does not take you to the address. There's another driver. I think that's Devin. So I don't know, I want to be able to do it at least once. The list is updated maybe twice a week or so. It's just a list that the Cool Manager puts up on paper, hangs it up at the driver's table where we bag up the pizzas and check out. So there's a list there, and he always makes it like the top 5 are in like bold or fancy font, and then the very top gets like a big, nice, colorful, like champion or #1 or unbeatable or something like that. And he's always getting it. So this is our next stop, and we look for, let's see what room. 223. Where's the room numbers? I can't see the room numbers. Alright, well, I'll find it. I'll be right back. So that was interesting. So this guy's walking behind me. There we go. This place is always kind of annoying to get out of. Alright. So that was interesting. The last guy was a really old guy. Hard of hearing and couldn't see very well. He had to go get his glasses to sign the tip. And he had no shirt on. Oh, this is a really awkward thing. Right. So yeah, I didn't really need to see that. Really old guy with no shirt on. He seemed like a nice guy though, given that. Oh no, it's snowing. It just started snowing out of nowhere. I see that just in front of my headlights there. You can see a little bit of snow just coming down. That's kind of bizarre. Like literally just started out of nowhere. Oh, now it's dying down. Never mind. So, yeah. The people in the first hotel, right, the Drury Inn right over here, they were also an old couple, and the old guy reminded me, he for some reason reminded me of like Ben Franklin or something, like Benjamin Franklin. He just kind of had that bald top of his head, the hair on the sides. He's kind of short and roundy looking. I don't know, it's interesting. First people tipped pretty well in cash. It was like four or so bucks. This last guy tipped. What did he tip? Wrote it on the receipt. $2.80. That's kind of weird. Oh yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys in just a moment again. Alright guys, that is the end of my night. That was the last delivery I took. I was about to go take another. Usually I go over just a little bit. I mean, what, I was short 5 minutes. They let me off 5 minutes early, but so yeah, they let me off early tonight, which not that early, 5 minutes. But yeah. So I guess that's the end of this video. I might just clip these all together and then premiere it like it's a live stream. Anyways, guess that's the end of tonight. Glad to be out of here. If this is successful, I might do it again tomorrow night. I don't see why it wouldn't be successful, I guess, but you know, we're just having random vlog time. And so I guess I'll have to think of a bunch of topics to think of next time. And yeah, I guess I'll go home and I'll see you guys later. I might live stream tonight, maybe. We'll see. On my computer about, you know, my truck bumper stuff, but I literally don't have much else to stream about that, so maybe I'll do a game, I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe I just won't. I am kind of tired today. Well, I'm getting off pretty early, so yeah, see you guys later, and ciao.